Hello, we got another real ranked talking about 2010's horror. So going live right now. Hello and welcome back to another real ranked. I'm your host Matthew, and we're gonna talk about some horror movies from the 2010s, putting them all in a bracket. So I'm just gonna bring in our panelists for today, starting with Steven,
A.
Adelaide.
I had to go and throw on the Survivor buff because I know that all two Survivor fans in the audience might be watching. I wanted to show it off, and I got it today. Hi, I like half scary movies.
Fair. All right. So,
Half
should I explain how we made this? Came up with the
Yes.
bracket. What we did is we came up with our lists of our personal favorites from the 2010s, and then we basically, if we had any crossover, we put them on the list, and then we also added the 8 most popular horror movies on Letterboxd that weren't on any of our lists, or maybe they were, but only one person had it. And then we then also we picked 3 of our favorite horror movies that we wanted to also include, and so that's how we ended up with 32. And so, how are you guys feeling for today?
I'm just here to have a good time. Yeah, that's the goal.
Mhm.
Keep
I
the
think what's
audience
weird is-
entertained.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I have a feeling that we're all gonna get like our favorites knocked out really quickly, or we're all gonna be like mad and bitter by the end.
Yeah, that probably will happen, but that's okay. It creates for great entertainment.
Yeah, well, we're about to find out with our first matchup, which is Midsommar versus Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
Fuck you.
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I'll just say right off the bat, I haven't seen Dude Pro Party Massacre 3, so I don't know.
Let me give you the best
about
sell
this,
for this.
or yeah,
The best sell for
Oh,
this
sorry.
movie. This is the only one. There is not one or two.
Okay.
The structure for it is like, oh, we found this ancient relic from the 80s, and they play like this VHS for you, where it's like, oh, you saw what happened to Motherface in the first movie, and then her daughter came back, and then Motherface died again. Who is Motherface now? Coming to attack this fraternity. And it's the dumbest fucking kills, like way too gory and way too insane for no reason. And on top of that, during the movie, there's random like commercials for, because like they tape this off of TV in the 80s or whatever. So it's like you
Gotcha.
see like in Mandy how there's like the cheddar goblin. It's just shit like that coming out of nowhere, and it's awesome.
Okay.
It is so much fun. Like my old crotchety like don't laugh at anything, think the Marcos are better than Monty Python type of friends. Really like this. Like this works better than it has any right to.
I watched Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, and it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be. Like, it wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be. And so, like, I thought it's fine. It's not a bad movie at first. Like, I think it's like, I mean, it's like purposefully bad, made to be bad, but also like, I'm sure you can have fun. Like other people could have more fun with it than I did, but I just didn't think it worked for me.
Well, I'll just say for Midsommar, I'm actually not a huge fan of Midsommar. So there's that. I seen it twice and thought it was fine. I liked Hereditary more. So I don't know.
So what if you voted for Dude Bro Fighting Massacre 3?
Yeah. So I'm
I think-
assuming here you're voting Dude Bro Party Massacre 3.
You never know.
And I'm
Only one of
voting-
these in my top 100.
So,
Could
so
be
like,
both.
I don't know. I mean, I'd be willing to go do Pro Party Massacre 3, but also I haven't seen it, so like, is that okay if I vote anyway?
Let me
I
pitch
don't
you
know.
on let me pitch you on two of the best kills. The first one happens in like one of the opening scenes where it's showing a flashback from Dude Bro Party Massacre 2, where all of these like sorority girls are like jumping around in a puddle naked, and Motherface cuts electrical wire and like shocks the water, killing them all. And there's a guy with them who doesn't die because he's wearing rubber boots. It's like, wait, what happened? Oh shit, you died. Are you okay? And just touches them and he fucking dies from shock as well. And then another one is which one do I say? As like the fraternity are getting slaughtered, one of them is like, I'm gonna do a backflip into the pool, and he's hanging onto a zip line. Motherface cuts him in half, so he's riding the zip line just as top, and his like intestines and blood and shit is falling out as he's flying down to a cliff. And they're like, oh yeah, do it, Dylan. Oh god, it's fucked up in the 80s cheese kind of way, and it's ungodly entertaining. Like it really shouldn't be that good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to be controversial, and I'm just to like get Midsommar out of there. Just go do Pro Party Massacre 3.
I will say I do actually really enjoy Midsommar. Like I do think it's really good. Ari Aster's best film. I will say. That being said, 3 hours not the best decision. I think
That's my main issue with
long.
it. It's a little too long.
But like I don't think it has any like inherent flaws in it. Like I don't think it's necessarily bad at anything. It's like the difference between 4.5 and a 5 is like I can feel the length. That's really it. Whereas Super Party Massacre 3 is like a very nice, clean 90 minutes. Like that's the kind of movie that I want more of.
I do like the short aspect of it.
Midsommar is one of the greatest movies ever made, but
okay, yeah, that's not...
Tell us, Matthews. Tell us why it's better than this movie that is the greatest thing to ever come out of cinema.
Because I mean, I feel like, you know, on Real Rank we've talked about Midsommar so much. I don't really want to like a lot of
that's what I was thinking.
You know,
I feel like that movie's been talked about so much. So I guess just say we just should put Dude Pro Party Massacre 3 through the next round just because it'd be funny. And
I agree.
Also like Midsommar is like I'm not a huge fan of it either. So I know like literally anyone who's gonna Dude Pro Party Massacre 3 is the winner.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes.
all right, let's go to our next matchup.
That's going to be the biggest upset right there.
I think the 32 bouncing the 1 is the greatest thing you can do. Like I stand by that every single time.
There you go. Alrighty. Yeah, what's the next one?
The Cabin in the Woods versus It Follows.
Okay.
2 overrated movies. It Follows is the one for the show that I hadn't seen beforehand. I was gonna watch it. I watched it last night. It's fine. Like it's not amazing. It's good. Micah Monroe's good. Direction is good. It just didn't like hit. I don't know what I was missing, or if it's just like not gonna hit for me. Cabin in the Woods is good. Like I'll give it that. Like I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with it. I think you just run in the wrong circles where people talk about it as like the one of the most subversive and inventive and creative movies ever. And like it's like, yeah, like I think these are both good movies. I think this is the case of 2 films that didn't quite hit the mark with me.
Yeah, I thought Cabin in the Woods was a little too much by the end, or like not. And when I say too much, I just mean like there's a lot of ideas. They're like trying to subvert. They're like, we're so subversive and smart. And then by the end of it, I was like, all right, but like whatever. I didn't find it particularly funny. There were some good bits though. And It Follows, I think, is a bit better tonally. I like that movie more because and it also has that synth score that I love. It's very 80s horror. You can tell there's some inspiration from John Carpenter. So that's a win in my book.
So actually, both of these movies I haven't seen since 2019, but I like both of them. I think the Cabin in the Woods, I remember just having a really good time with like the self-aware nature of everything. But I feel like, I've seen way more horror movies now, so I feel like maybe it would work better for me now. I just don't know. And It Follows, I think it was at a time where like I just hadn't seen a lot of horror movies, so I did think it was like pretty scary, and I feel like, the tone and like all that it was really good. So yeah, this is the tough one for me to have to vote. Both like similar timing when I saw it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like Matthew is the most. I know my vote. I'm trying to think like what's the most suspenseful.
Yeah. Yeah, Matthew, you got an idea of what you're going with here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll vote It Follows. So.
I will vote Cabin in the Woods.
Okay.
My vote is It Follows.
All right,
Okay. There we go.
So
It Follows makes it through.
all right. It Follows makes it through, and we go to our next matchup, which is the Vivitch versus Mandy.
Ooh. So we never really established how our order. We want to just like Matthew, you go first this time.
Oh yeah, no, I can do that.
Yeah, because we've been a little disorganized.
No, for sure. The Witch, I think it's like really well crafted. I think Robert Eggers does like an amazing job of just the atmosphere and like setting it in this time period as well, and just like seeing how everything goes like is really interesting. I think Anya Taylor-Joy, she's incredible as well. But like personally, I'm not as big as a fan of like the time period, so like I think it's a really great, well-crafted movie that I don't quite love. And then Mandy, it's also I really like Mandy as well. I mean, it's just like very atmospheric, and like the visuals are gorgeous. I love the Johan Johansson score. It's just like I think it's one of his final scores, if I believe.
I think it
But
was his last.
yeah,
Was it?
No, I think so too. Like it's either that or it's like second to last.
but like
Yeah.
just the score with like the sound design and just it's incredible. Nicolas Cage gives a really fantastic performance. I think the kills are also really fun, and so it's definitely like style over substance. But I just really love the style.
Yeah, and then I think The Witch for me is it might be my favorite Eggers actually, and I like all three of them that he's made, but I think this one is so like fair. It's very particular about what it wants to do. It does it very well. It's I really like the visual style, and I liked it again this second time I watched it more than the first time. So I think it's got good rewatchability to it. The performances are all good. I guess you have to turn on subtitles probably if you want to understand everything they're saying. But you get the atmosphere of it anyway. So I feel like you don't necessarily need to understand the plot all the lines of dialogue to understand what's going on. But it's cool, very atmospheric, and it's shorter side. And in horror, I think short tends to work better. And then Mandy, I like Mandy a lot too. The visuals are. It's like I like the visuals in a lot of it, but sometimes it's got this weird like modern feel to it almost, where it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's just like movies that try to be like psychedelic and weird that in like a very modern visual style at the same time doesn't always work for me. So that thing's a little weird, but I like a lot of it, and I think the use of gore and whatnot, Cage rules as he always does. Score is good, like you said. So yeah, that's all I got for now.
I have not seen the Vavitch. That's my toxic trait. That's my red flag. I don't know if I'd like it because I have a really hard time with like non-modern language. So I was like, this or It Follows. And I chose It Follows. I think it'd be an easier watch. And Mandy, I really like Mandy. I think it's a lot of fun. It's probably my favorite Nick Cage performance. Like I missed a couple of the big ones, like namely Leaving Las Vegas, but this is a lot of fun. I think its first act it dragged a bit, but I think again I have like a hard time with like really slow paced films. Once you get to that second and third act, you're like really building the revenge fantasy. It's fucking great. There's some incredible action. Again, the score from Johansson is fucking immaculate. Panos Cosmatos, amazing director. Like I think this is a really, really well crafted film. I think if you tweak the first act a little bit, like cut some of the filler and like really like got to the murder quicker, it could make it pretty far on this list. But right now it's like a solid 4 out of 5.
I gotta say, it's interesting. Your love of why you like Mandy is like not the reason I like. Like I like the earlier stuff more, honestly.
I mean, I did just go like describe some like really fucked up kills in Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. So
Yeah.
I go for inventive kills.
I love good gory kills too, and I still like the movie later on as well. But I really like the beginning because it's just like the atmosphere, just
It's like
vibing with Red and Mandy. I like Bill Duke too, just him sitting there being Bill Duke. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, I guess. I think I'm gonna go with Mandy for this one.
Okay, I'll go with The Witch.
Sorry,
but
I got it.
You got to go with Mandy.
I got Mandy.
I think if you saw The Witch, you probably would still vote Mandy.
Yeah,
based
I
on
think so,
what
too.
you've said so far. So that's fair. That's fair. Dang, that kind of sucks though. I was hoping that one could go far. That's a tough first round matchup.
Yeah, I mean, we all picked like, I mean, because a lot of them are our choices. We definitely picked some good movies to
Yeah,
pair against each other.
I feel like we're not gonna get a lot of like explicitly bad films.
No, we aren't probably. So we're good. We're good.
All right, let's get into our next matchup. Don't Breathe versus It.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess we'll just rotate through. So I'll go next. I don't know. Yeah, I think It is a fine movie, but it's like very commercial and it's really long. And so like it's kind of hard for me to get super connected to it. It's a lot of like, usual tropes you've seen in movies and whatnot. The effects work is pretty good, but it also can get a little distracting. And then Don't Breathe. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not too long. It's a little disturbing in parts, and that makes it like interesting, I guess. I'm trying to think. Don't Breathe is a very straightforward movie. There's really not a whole, well, yeah, it's got a twists and turns, obviously, but it's very much just like, yeah, break-in, old man is a crazy guy. Watch out for him. It is interesting how they humanize they try to humanize the kids who are breaking in, because they aren't like great people anyway. Like they're kind of annoying, or at least some of them are.
They're a little
So
bit like
it's
like stupid kids, like
yeah, they're not the smartest, but they're also like, yeah, so they're like humans, but you're not necessarily rooting for them or all of them. So it's interesting in that aspect. But I will say that the scene in the basement, that's pretty crazy right there. So,
without spoiling it. 'Cause I don't know.
yeah, I don't want to say anything else if you haven't seen it. But so that's all I got for those two.
I'm gonna be so torn on this. Don't Breathe is a 5 out of 5 in my letterbox right now, but I can't help but feel like it's undeserved. that might be some of the sourness of the sequel coming to get me. But I think that this is like I think it's a really great like simplistic horror film. But it's also it might be more of a thriller. I think the idea of the slasher, which I think they're working with here, is a little like different. Not in a way that I think maybe it works best with the genre, but I think all the performances are really great. Dylan Minnette and fucking Avatar guy are both really good. Not Dylan Minnette.
Oh, yeah, Stephen Lang.
Thank you, Stephen Lang. And whoever the lead, like the final girl is, I think she's also good.
Jane Levy.
Oh, is she like Eugene Levy, but like baby? Yeah. I think it's really good. I don't really have any flaws with it. I just feel like I hold it higher in esteem than I probably should. And then might go down and rewatch. That might influence the I don't know. I think is dope as shit. Like I think the idea of turning horror into like blockbuster filmmaking is like a relatively new thing and hasn't really been toyed with a lot. And I think it works really well. I think the way that they adapted the original story is also like really like I'm shocked they turned such a large like dense book into like the other movie's a little long. Like I hear you, but it's so good and it's so interesting. Bill Skarsgård.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's great.
Probably the most iconic horror character of the decade, if not the century. Like he is incredible as Pennywise. And the fact that I think there's moments where you can't tell like what's his performance and what's CGI. And I think that works better for the movie as a whole. Like how rich they make that character. Sequel sucks. But I think this first film is like really, really good.
Yeah. Don't Breathe. I also like Don't Breathe. I think there is also some like pretty strong tension as well. Just like adding to what you guys have already said, and then talked about the performances, which I agree. Like Stephen Lane is really good, but I think with it, I just like even more. Like Bill Skarsgård, he is Pennywise and just does an incredible job. I also think just having this story about these like losers, these underdogs, and then also how like the horror is like turning your fears into real life is like really interesting as well. I think that like makes it scarier, and like I also just really like the friends, like the characters. They're all really memorable in my opinion. I think, and I just enjoyed following them.
Nice. All right. Okay, I guess yes. I went first this time, so I'm gonna vote Don't Breathe for this one. So, even though it's like maybe not 100% just a horror movie, and there's a few movies on this list that I wouldn't call necessarily a horror. I think this is enough though, where I'm like, yeah, I think it's definitely horror. It is just much more like straightforward. This is what you think of when you think of a studio horror movie. So yeah, but I'm going Don't Breathe.
I think I talked myself out of it. I think I'm gonna vote for it. Like I think it's a little more simple, but it's like the best version of the story I think can be told, which I think like boosts it up to where it gets the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I'm also voting it.
Okay. Wow.
It moves on.
Well, I think
I'll
the
help you
best
eventually,
way.
Steven. I'll help you eventually.
Well, it's okay. I helped you with the Midsommar do Bro Party Massacre 3, so
Yeah.
I always got
have one vote for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the next matchup: Hereditary versus One Cut of the Dead.
So I'm first. I have not seen One Cut of the Dead. From what Matthew says, I would like it, but Hereditary, shit slaps. It fits in that same in that same camp of Mandy for me, where I think that there's some parts that don't entirely cohere and like work to the larger part of the film. Like I understand the whole idea that it's a movie about trauma and grief, and like I understand that, but I think that those are the parts of the film that work the least. I think everything with Charlie is great. The finale is great. That middle section where you're waiting for the finale to kick in and Charlie's not there, it's not amazing. Amazing performances, but that like dip, I think like weighs a lot in my mind because that's where I'm like, okay, I can check my phone, go on Twitter. Okay, we're good to good shit now. And I don't think that a movie that like runs in the bracket should be doing that.
Yeah. Hereditary is one of those horror movies that really like got me into horror. I think this was like one of the earliest horror movies that I remember watching when I was like still scared. And so like it just really resonated with me, I think. And like, there's just an incredible atmosphere. Toni Collette, she's incredible. Like probably one of the best performances of the decade. And then just like Spence was saying about the trauma as well and like the themes, but and the horror elements are also just fantastic. So yeah, but One Cut of the Dead is like really fun. I think like I don't want to talk too much about the movie because like it's the best way to go into it is like know nothing about it.
Well, they cut the dead, right? Is that the thing?
So I'm not
Dead
sure how
do
much.
get cut. Dead do get cut.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, but it's like as a zombie movie. Is
All right.
yeah.
Or are we gonna say anything else?
I'm just like not entirely sure what to say because it's just like
that's
very
fair. That's fair.
fresh take on zombies, I think.
Yeah. I would say, so the funny thing about this matchup is I watched One Cut of the Dead for the first time a few days ago, whereas I haven't seen Hereditary in like years. So it's hard to like gauge like which one I'd like more or which one I like more right now. But Hereditary was pretty scary. Got some funny parts too. I think horror with some humor is always good, and performances are all great. The usual technical stuff. It's all good. Ari Aster, good director. I think it does kind of lose steam for me at the end, and it's a little like now that I've seen a few more horror movies, I feel like it's not necessarily as original as I originally thought, but it's still like pretty fun. I would definitely watch again. One Cut of the Dead is very much going blind because you don't know what's coming, and then you're like, oh, this is what the movie is. That's cool, and it's not. Yeah, I will say Hereditary is probably like the scarier one because like, whereas One Cut of the Dead's like the more interesting one. So it's hard to decide which one.
I wouldn't really call One Cut of the Dead like that scary, but it's a horror comedy, so
yeah.
It's different, yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm not sure how we should vote on this one.
I mean, I know where I'm going.
Okay.
I'm doing Hereditary. Y'all can fight it out.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I think I'll still go Hereditary here.
Yeah, no.
So it doesn't.
No,
you
like
go
I
Hereditary.
think I would also just go Hereditary as well.
Okay.
Like,
yeah, and I think Hereditary is still gonna go with So.
Mm-hmm. But
cool.
Yeah, I mean, definitely watch One Cut of the Dead if you haven't seen it before.
For sure.
All right. Your next matchup is Climax versus Annihilation.
Back to you, Matthew.
So I start. I just don't remember who has seen which ones. Like, have you guys seen both of these movies? Or
I've only seen Annihilation.
I have only seen Annihilation.
So, all right.
Hey, Stephen.
I think Climax is like it's an experience. I feel like you're it's like so hypnotic, and just like there's a lot of long shots just like of people dancing, and like you really don't know what's gonna happen. Like these dancers just like they're tripping on LSD, and like it's just like very very trippy. Like, and you really um the camera work is incredible. There's also some really great dance sequences. Like they hold on the dancing, and like it's incredible. I think uh yeah, it's just very hypnotic. I feel like there's not a better word to describe the feeling you get when you're watching it. I because I don't want to spoil anything like in the movie. Just that's like the main plot is that they trip on LSD, and it goes places that like there are twists and turns that that happens. Sophia Botella is incredible as well, and the rest of the cast I believe they're dancers, and so they're not like known for acting. So I think they all do really good. And then for Annihilation, it's just it's been a little while since I've seen it, but I do remember just being very engaging with like the mystery. Is very atmospheric as well, and just seeing it's been too long since I've seen this one.
All
So I'll
right.
let you guys talk about yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll just say I did want to get to climax. I didn't get around to. I still haven't seen a Gaspar Noé film, but it does look like I think I'd like it. But Annihilation, pretty good movie. It's been a few years since I've seen it, so not super fresh. But there's plenty of scenes where I'm like, that stuck with me. It's I think I like the style that Alex Garland uses in it. There's a lot of creative visual effects. I like that the entire like the cast is really good. Like, and the way they write the characters is really good too. If I remember, it's like because it's an all female cast and like they're all like hyper competent, but they're not like, ooh, look at us, we're badass, annoying winky winky. It's just like, yeah, these are characters. They fucking ball, and I'm like, that's cool, man. I like that. I mean, so it's good. It's a good movie. Yeah.
Annihilation is the only movie on this list that has actually scared me, and I think that gives it a lot of like. I think the scare bear is fucking terrifying. Like I haven't been able to get that fucking image out of my head. But also beyond that, I think like the hand cam footage of Oscar Isaac's character like fucks me up. The lighthouse is like scary in like an ethereal sort of way, not like in a personal way. And then Tessa Thompson turns into like the fucking the plant. It's there's some insane shit going on in this shit.
Intestines.
Yeah, I think Annihilation is just super intriguing, and I love Alex Garland. Like, I think he's like one of the most like visionary directors we have going on right now. Haven't seen Men, which I think helps with that high esteem. But
I like Men. I think it's a good movie.
Oh,
and I did not expect to like it.
I don't think I like Climax. I've seen half of Love, which is Gaspar Noé's porno, and it sucks. That's basically all I can add.
Climax is in the porno, so I think
Okay, but like I feel like if like this French auteur is gonna like make porn, it should be interesting, right? Like there's gotta be some good thing going on. No, it's just like, oh man, I'm sad, horny. Like that's it. That's the whole thing for like 2 hours.
I mean, there's a story in Climax, even if it's just like very atmospheric. But like there is a plot. There's like a through line for where it leads. So I would vote Climax, but I know you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah,
so.
We're both going Annihilation, and I did want to get to Climax, but oh well. Annihilation's a good movie, so I don't feel like, oh man, Climax getting booted out for some okay movie that I still kind of like. But Annihilation's good.
Annihilation's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to watch it again. I think I would like it more if I watched it again, even so. yeah, I'm looking
But
forward to the
you were
second
right
watch
about
of
it
that.
being like having a lot of scenes that like stick out. Like I still, I remember
Mhm.
everything that
Yeah.
you like had talked about.
Yeah, it's very memorable for sure. It's very good. Yeah, and I actually wasn't huge on Ex Machina, so. But again, that one I do think I would like if I want to say I'd like more if I watched it again. But I like the I think I like Alex Garland in Annihilation mode more than Ex Machina mode. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I've seen Ex Machina like 4 times. Like I think it's so
Hey,
Mhm.
it's good actors in there, that's for sure.
I put me on A24. I'll get Ex Machina in the finals. I'll find a way.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next matchup, which is Train to Busan versus Raw.
Okay, so I'm first. Okay. I think Train to Busan is fine, but it's very much like a um it, I was bored of it by the end of it. I just wanted it to end after a while because it is very repetitive and like I don't know if it's like there's some really creative stuff. I like the how they use like going in the tunnels and how like that the characters use that. There's like that sequence of the 3 guys when they're going through. I really like that part. I don't think they were on the train enough. I think there was too much time not on the train to Busan. And like they build up the relationship with the like the dad and his daughter and I just don't care that much honestly. It's like she's a really good actress though. That little girl can act. Uh, but it was like I was very much like, oh, it's the bad dad trope, and then he's gonna sacrifice himself probably at the end or something like that, and then I guess spoilers, but that was more me just like saying that's how I felt going into it. I don't really know if that's you'll have to watch the movie to see if it actually happens. But then I have not seen Raw, so can't speak on that. Which makes this hard because I was not huge on Train to Busan and I haven't seen Raw. So we'll see.
So Steven, how would you feel if I told you that Raw is more of like a character piece?
Yeah, no,
And
I think I would like Raw more, but haven't seen it. So
I think Raw is really good. If I think it's really tight between that and Titan for the director's films. Like it's a really close to quality.
mhm.
But Raw I've seen twice, and I think I don't think it works as well on rewatch. Not to say that it's bad. I think it drags a little bit more, but I still think like the actual metaphor of what's going on, of this like processing womanhood and coming to adulthood through cannibalism is like really interesting, and I'm surprised like it's as effective as it is. Julia Ducournau, director or lead actress, I forget.
Oh, director. Julia Ducournau is
Oh,
the
damn.
director. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, who's the actress? Because she's fucking amazing. Like, I think
Laurence
she's
Marie.
Garance Marier.
Marie.
Okay,
Marie.
Garance Marier. She's amazing, fucking carrying this film. And there's some weird shit that she's got to do, and she just sells it. Like as an actor, I feel like it'd be hard to be like, okay, yeah, I gotta learn how to live in the moment of like being horny and also like oppressed and also wanting to eat people, and she sells it all at once. I fully believe it. She's amazing. Train to Busan's fine. Like I don't get like the big fervor for it. I think its third act is like not great. Other than I used to know his name, the guy who's in Eternals. I think that he's awesome. I don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah, Madon.
the big guy, right?
Gilgamesh.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Everyone else is like fine. Like I'm not interested in their stories. Even his, I'm like a less interested, but she's at least a good actor. Like I buy that he's in. Everyone else is like, eh. Like, I think Train to Busan is like a fine movie. I don't think it hits the highs that Raw does or tries to have the level of storytelling that it succeeds with.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So both of these movies are 5 stars for me. I think Train to Busan is it's a very fresh take on a zombie film because I feel like I've never seen a zombie movie quite like this where it's very fast paced and also just like filled with suspense. I think it is kind of refreshing to see how it takes advantage of a single location. It's train, so like there's only so much you can do, but I think what it uh what happens is all super creative, and leaves you on the edge of your seat. And I really love, besides like all the zombie action stuff, I do really love the characters. I think just like the father daughter relationship, I feel like adds a very emotional side to the movie. And then there's also just like some really strong side characters as well. Like you were saying about Maldon Silk, his role is really good. And also just like there's that one character who you just want to die, and like they like really make you passionate, at least for me. And so uh that, but Raw, I love Raw a lot. I think I liked it even more on rewatch, and it's just very disturbing and visceral, but like I feel I just loved every moment of it. I think like there might be moments where like you're gonna want to gag, but I think it's really worth watching. It's like, and what Spence said about just the themes of it's a coming of age tale, and I really like the character, like the Garance Marudike is incredible. And her relationship with her sister, I feel like there was something that like felt very honest, and I really, I thought, just there's a lot that I don't want to say much more. If you haven't seen the movie, but yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm. All right, how are we voting then?
My first.
So I'm
Yeah,
going.
you go, because I'm gonna wait. I don't, because I don't really have an opinion. I
Okay.
can't. So
I am voting Raw.
I'm also voting Raw.
okay, well that makes it easy. I just wasn't. It was basically I didn't know if Matthew was gonna go Train to Busan or Raw. So easy enough.
Okay, so our next matchup is Bone Tomahawk versus Black Swan.
Well, that sucks.
I have not seen Bone Tomahawk. And Black Swan, I've been meaning to rewatch because I felt like I was a little bit too harsh on it initially. I saw it at an age where I wasn't like super into character pieces. I was more into like big genre filmmaking. I still am, but I think I appreciate it more now. And Black Swan just like sort of missed with me then. But I think looking back on it, I do think I think it's really good. I think Natalie Portman is fantastic. I don't know if I'd call it her best performance because Vox Lux is amazing. That's like that's only her real competition. Darren Aronofsky is a director of like big hits and big misses, and here he just fucking swings, and he fucking knocks it out of the park, and it's so interesting. And I think the way that he adapts, like the way that he sort of like multi-adapts Swan Lake into the movie and the story of the character as the show, and like being more familiar with it now, I think I respect the movie a lot more. On top of like having like a weirdly stacked supporting cast, I think everyone's like, "Oh, it's a Natalie Portman show," but so many people in that are just in the background and great. Like Winona Ryder's there, and she has I think like 3-4 scenes. Like she could just be like sort of just showing up for like, "Oh, let me look at this supporting actress nomination just because I'm famous," but she's great. Like she's really good. I actually think I'd like Bone Tomahawk more than Black Swan just because I fucking love Kurt Russell, and apparently movies with cannibals are my shit. Don't know why. That's just a pattern. Sucks that I missed out on it.
Yeah, Bone Tomahawk is the only movie in this bracket that I didn't get it, that I haven't seen. I tried to watch it before the show, but the video was buffering, and it was just really hard to like watch the movie if it kept on like buffering it. Yeah, so I just had some Wi-Fi issues, but Black Swan is incredible. I think just this very psychological and like haunting imagery, with like seeing Natalie Portman, really just transform into this character, and the like struggles that she goes through, and like all the harsh surroundings that like she has to deal with, and just I thought she's incredible. And I think I really love Mila Kunis is really good too, and then I think Vincent Cassel, however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, I think it's Cassell. Actually, I just thought it looked more that way, but
I think it is Cassel. Just like if French, but
Yeah.
he's incredible as well. I feel like not a lot of people. He's not like as big as the name, so I think I wanted to give a shout out to him and Barbara Hershey as the mother. I think she really sells it, like with the how it she relates with Portman, and I think just the shot, just like the symbolism of like her journey to like perfection and like what someone would go to like get to that goal is just incredibly done.
All right, you're good then.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'll say I'll talk about Black Swan first. So I think I like it. I don't love Natalie Portman's performance though, honestly. For some reason, it doesn't work entirely for me. And so and like the movie's good. Don't get me wrong, but I think Mila Kunis is just way more interesting in this movie, which it's hard because it's like, if your protagonist isn't the most interesting, that can work if it's like a straight man or whatever. But like here, it's not like an ensemble, like it's her story. And then, so I would have liked if like Mila Kunis maybe was the lead instead, because I think she fucking killed it. But yeah, it's good. Very well shot. Pretty well directed. Usual technical stuff's good. I haven't seen a ton of Aronofsky though. He's a little controversial though. A lot of people have mixed opinions on his stuff. Then I'll say Bone Tomahawk though. This movie kicks fucking ass. It's one of the best the last decade, I think, just overall. But it is much more just like my thing. Like, great cast. Kurt Russell, one of my favorites of all time. He's everyone's favorite of all time. One of their favorite. I don't know a person who doesn't like Kurt Russell. And then the pacing is pretty slow, but it's definitely my thing. Like the dialogue and the writing is like just very interesting. You get invested in like these little intricate relationships, or like I shouldn't say intricate, but like the intricacies of the relationships are interesting to me. And it's like, it's got some funny stuff, and yeah, so it is a little slow paced, but then like you do get to the good stuff, and like it gets pretty gruesome. There is one scene in particular that like there's just one, you see the image of it and you're like, holy shit, like that's fucked. And I really like how S. Craig Zoller writes and directs. He's got he's got a very interesting, unique style. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm going. I mean, I'll just say right. I'll go in Bone Tomahawk because obviously based off my praise for it. So.
Steve, would you like to cash in your thing now?
I'm going with Black Swan. Hey, I'll just say that. I mean,
okay. If you're a really big fan of Black Swan,
I will say I love Brawl and Cell Block 99. I'm a fan of S. Craig Zoller.
So then you probably would like Bone Tomahawk. Yeah.
Do you want to cash in your
yeah, I would, because we're doing that. Bone Tomahawk needs
Bone
to
Tomahawk
go.
moves on.
Let's go. That's the other big one. We're getting, dude, the fact that we didn't advance Midsommar and Black Swan is gonna, like, a lot of people are gonna be upset about that, I think.
Yeah.
Those are two very popular.
Well, they should have been on the movies. Show. It's
exactly.
We get to cause chaos.
We determine everything.
Exactly. Our opinions are the only ones that matter.
Right on.
So. All right. Let's move on to the next matchup, which is The Lighthouse versus Revenge. And I think I start with this one, right? Yeah. I don't know which one to start with. I'll start with The Lighthouse, because I think this is I've talked about The Lighthouse a lot with like A24, so I'm not going to say too much about it, but I do think I really love The Lighthouse, just like this very haunting, claustrophobic movie about these two people, and like just how they slowly descend into madness, and just like I think Pattinson, Defoe are just incredible, and I don't want to say too much though because I've spoken about it a lot. But with Revenge, I think I wasn't sure how to feel about it or before going into it, because like what I knew about it was that it's a rape revenge story basically. But uh, having I spit on your grave, having that been my only rape revenge story that like I've seen, I was like very hesitant. But now that I've seen the movie, it's just like it doesn't feel like exploitation as well, which is really really strong. You know, with a female director, I think she was able to handle this story with care, but also just like you know, and bring out a very incredible female lead. I think what is her name? Matilda Anna Ingrid Lutz. She is just
Yeah.
incredible. Like she's outstanding. I think just like playing this character, and like there's also a lot of really strong style. I think I love the music, like the synth, and I think that really added a lot to the movie. And like there are certainly some scenes that like had to like look away. There's like one moment where it is like really tough to watch. I don't know if we want to talk, or like I don't know how much.
Yeah, was it when she's at the campfire? Or no, is it
It's when
when
she
there's
gets out.
glass?
Yeah, that too. That's
Okay.
like that was a big one. It was like that like really made me like cringe. It was like, oh my god, no.
Here's the thing, but the movie's working then, because it's like selling you on like how visceral, how painful
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, like it's when like she has to take out the branch out of her stomach and like cauterize it. And it's like, oh no, this is painful to watch, but yeah, it's effective for sure.
All right. Yeah. The Lighthouse. I need to watch this again because I watched it for the first time. I was like pretty tired and it was late at night, but also kind of works for the movie's favor because it is kind of like a weird sleepy movie and you kind of just take it in. It's like very much vibes, you know. So, but I think performances are great, and it for a movie that's just two guys going crazy on an island, it's pretty engaging. Then Revenge. I mean, I love me some good old genre shit and just watching heads and bodies go get bloodied up. So this is good. It was fun. I think there was a shot at the beginning where it's like it shows like half of a guy's ass and it just looks so bizarre. The framing of that shot is so
it should
weird.
be a full ass. I agree.
It like it's so weird and it's like off. It's so weird. That's just random thought, but I just had to say that the way the opening is shot is like I couldn't tell if like I knew it was trying to be subversive, but it almost felt like they were kind of like playing into it a little too much, maybe. So it was, yeah, but I mean, besides like that's kind of getting into that would take too long. So, but it is very good. It does what it sets out to do. I liked it. It's fun. Cool.
I really like Revenge. I think it's fantastic. It's one of the better cases, like one of the better movies in this genre that I've seen like ever. I think it's fucking amazing. I don't know how it can be topped. I don't like The Lighthouse. The old timey language doesn't work for me. I think the kind of narrative it uses also I'm not a huge fan of. I think I have a hard time working with like non-literal stories, like unreliable narrators a little bit, and it sort of goes into that on top of like the falling into insanity. I think is a hard sell. But beyond that, I don't think it would work with any kind of language like that, where it's just like hard, and like it's words that I don't understand. Like it doesn't come in this year. Like it hits it and falls. I don't like Pattinson and Defoe are good. Don't care about the movie like at all. I would watch Revenge 5 times before I watch The Lighthouse again.
All right.
So I would choose The Lighthouse and move forward.
Okay, I think I'm voting Revenge here.
Revenge!
So,
Revenge!
yeah.
God! Yes!
And I actually, I'd be curious to see how I feel if I watch The Lighthouse again, yeah, The Lighthouse is the only Robert Eggers movie that I wasn't like huge fan of. I just liked The Lighthouse. Revenge, yeah. I mean, I love good genre shit, and this was good genre shit.
Mhm.
That final kill is so much fun. Like,
Yeah.
it's so well done. The lighthouse, he beats off to a mermaid. Like, what do you want from me?
All right, so let's move on to our next matchup, which is Ready or Not versus The Conjuring.
Oh, okay.
Steven.
First, yeah, I haven't seen Ready or Not. The Conjuring is a fine studio horror film that's a fun watch, and that's pretty much all I feel about it now. It was the first time I watched it, I thought it was like really, really good. But like over time, I've seen more horror movies because it was one of the first like R-rated horror movies I saw, I think, and so it was like not for that reason, like I liked it a lot. And then whenever I think about it or look at or like watch it again or just kind of like see parts of it, I'm like it's good, but I feel like there's other horror movies I like more now. So, but that's all I got there.
Conjuring. Overrated as fuck. Like, I don't get how it's like the only like big franchise or like a fucking horror franchise. I don't get it. The first movie's fine. It's not really scary. I don't care about the characters. Like, their villains are like maybe iconic, but I think I get sort of like lost in the weeds with them. Ready or Not, it's the best Sam Raimi movie he never directed. Like, it's so much fun and like gory and brutal, and the kills are fucking wild. It's literally one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I have a fucking list on Letterboxd. Go follow me. It's a fun list and basically flawless. Like, spoilers, I'm gonna push it as far as I fucking can. This movie rules. Samara Weaving, one of my favorite final girls ever, and I think the actual like framework of the story, like how you get it started, is so interesting. Like, how do you build the cat and mouse game? Literally, it's a fucking game, and that's just like it's so good. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, go fucking watch it. And they did Scream, and that was great. Like, there's nothing wrong here. Support these two. Support this fucking movie. Support my wife, Samara Weaving. It's pure positives.
Yeah, I think The Conjuring is fine. I don't remember a whole lot about The Conjuring, honestly, so I think that that probably brings it down a little bit. I just don't really remember a whole lot, but I know it's a good movie, but I just don't remember a lot about it. Whereas like Ready or Not, I think it's much more memorable. I think it's really fun. It is very, very fun, and like seeing these gory kills, like Samara Weaving is incredible as this, as the final girl, and eating the rich, it's great.
Nice. Well, it looks like Ready or Not wins then.
Yeah.
I will say I didn't know that this was a Raimi type movie, so that might turn me on to it more because I haven't checked it out because I didn't think it looked like I would be huge on it, and I did not like Scream 2022, so I was like, I don't love these directors.
I think it's more so the meta humor
but Ready or Not seems like I would actually at least like it, but I just hadn't gotten around to it. But I love Sam Raimi, so maybe I should give it a watch. Although I shouldn't try to compare it to Sam Raimi because that would be really unfair.
I would say that like the reason you don't like Scream is not because of the directors, but because it's like
no
meta elements.
Honestly, I mean, nah, it's not even like the meta humor because I like half the Scream movies in the Scream franchise, so it's not the meta humor that. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, Ready or Not moves on, and our next matchup is Mother versus the Babadook.
No.
I don't remember who's going first here.
It's me.
Spence.
Oh yeah, it's you. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I love these both. I'll just go in order. I just talked about how like great Darren Aronofsky is. I think that he just is like a really like iconoclastic director, and I think it works well with Mother. Like I think the way that he tells this story is so interesting and so engaging. And I think it's the last time that I think we as like a nation, like a culture, really bought into like Jennifer Lawrence is incredible. I think we've sort of like fallen off that train recently. But she's so good in this. Javier Bardem is so good in this. Like I think the exact metaphor of the story loses me a little bit. Part of it's like I'm not the most religious person, but I think the way that it like tells the story is still really engaging. Well, even though I don't like fully understand and buy into all of it, and it does some fucked up stuff. Like that third act, like had me like shaking. It was wild. But then like going into the quiet of like her alone in the house and like connecting with like the heart is like it just like it sticks. Like it's with me. It's so fucking good. But then the Babadook is like perfect. Like what do you want? I would say it's maybe like the best. Oh God, no, it's not. It's so close. It's one of the best, like just straightforward horror movies of the decade. I think it's fucking perfection. I think that this is. I mean, I know they mentioned it in Scream 2022, where it's like, oh, what's your favorite? This is like there's a reason that like Discount Casey had it this high. It's the thing that I would teach future generations how to make horror movies off of this because Jennifer Kent is my girl. She fucking kills it. Essie Davis deserved an Oscar. Sorry, Julianne Moore, you're great, but no, give it to Essie Davis. She was a fucking amazing. And that kid, I would put that dude off of a fucking football field through the field goal. Fuck that kid. No little shit. Great. Amazing villain. Gay icon. Like, there's no flaws here. I want Mother Move On. It's so much better than some of these movies that have gone on, but it's just like, it's so hard when it's going up against this.
All right. So, yeah, Mother is very good. I think I was honestly there are definitely moments where I'm just like I didn't fully understand a lot of it because of the metaphor, but I think it is still very captivating of like everything that happens. And then like Jennifer Lawrence, she just completely steals the show, and I think following her and like everything that happens, like you said about the third act without spoilers, I think is just an incredible experience. It's definitely like nothing I've ever seen before, where like the way it's like visualized. But and the Babadook, I think the Babadook is really good, and then I felt like it loses itself a little bit towards the end, in my opinion. I think that's when it went more with like some horror cliches that I didn't love. It's a little bit goofy then, but I think the unsettling nature of the whole movie and like how it handles the grief that the mother and a child that they're dealing with, it really does that really well. And so like I think even if it fell apart a little bit in the end, I still really like the movie. I think Essie Davis is her performance is just like heart wrenching. I think that like really overpowers through anything that might have bothered me. I think that just that performance really is really done well done, and I think just the kid is very very needy and sucks, but it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Like they're dealing with the death of the husband or father. I think just it's really well captured with this Babadook creature that like kind of shows you like that grief can just kind of attack you, and it's not really something you can get rid of.
So I haven't seen Mother, but the Babadook was really good, and I liked it a lot. It's one of my favorites of the last decade. I haven't seen it in a while though, so there's not too much I can say. I mean, you guys pretty much said everything that needs to be said about the Babadook. I think I don't know if it's Babadook or Babadook though. I've heard it said both ways.
Well, like in the movie, isn't it? It's Babadook. Like I think that's how they.
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's true. Okay, cool. Yeah, in it. Yeah, You guys already said everything, so nothing left to be said.
Yeah. I will vote for the Babadook.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I go Babadook. So
I agree, but I think it sucks that Mother's gone.
there's always going to be these tough matchups in the first round where you're just like, why did this?
Second round's gonna kill me. I know it is. I feel
Yeah,
it.
that's when it's going to get a lot harder.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so Babadook moves on. We'll go to our next matchup, which is Color Out of Space versus Us.
Okay.
And so
Is it Matthew or Matthew?
it's me.
Matthew.
Yeah.
I think this is tough because I really like Us. I think it it's definitely a really great sophomore film by Peele. I think he really does an incredible job of balancing horror and comedy. And I think in Us, there's a lot more comedic moments that really I found really work. I think just like the one that stands out is when they're at like the friend's house and like Call the Police and Fuck the Police starts playing. It's like a really hilarious moment. But I think I really love the craft. I think the story and like how there's a lot of symbolism, a lot of really callbacks and stuff that like I found really work. But I think the thing that stands out the most is Lupita Nyong'o and just like capturing both characters and like her voice and doing that to her voice just like is incredible. And then with Color Out of Space, I think Nicolas Cage is incredible again. I think there's just like a very entertaining Nick Cage performance, and the atmosphere is just very unsettling and just like it really captivates you. There's a lot of things, a lot of what happens in the movie is like unexplained, but I really think that added to the intrigue, and there the body horror is very haunting. I really love the use of color, just like how purple and like the blues and how that really looks. But yeah, Steven, you can talk.
All right. Yeah. So I will say Us is really good. Jordan Peele, visionary guy, but it is a little more messy, I think, compared to like Get Out. It's probably my least favorite of his 3 horror movies he's made, but still good. I think it's just very ambitious, and I think it would have been better if it cut a little bit back on what he was trying to do, or just like try to simplify it just a little bit more. I think it would have helped him. But yeah, and then Color Out of Space, I mean, really cool. You said a lot of things I agree with. So I'll just say the Nick Cage voice. I'm pretty sure this is the one where he talks like Donald Trump in part of it. I was like, that's funny. So yeah. And yeah, it's a very creative way to show like an H.P. Lovecraft horror story. Like the color, like the color is the horror, the monster. So it's cool to see them execute it like that. It's kind of like Annihilation a bit with how the effects work on it. So it's cool. Yeah, that's all I got.
I have not seen Color Out of Space. Us is good. I don't think it totally works. I think there are some elements that don't sort of come together, and that I think is intentional from Peele. From what I understand, from interviews and everything, he's like, "Well, it's not supposed to be like a metaphor, but it is, but it's not." And yeah, Winston Duke is great. Lupita Nyong'o was phenomenal. She has my name, so I'm like, I have to be biased about that a little bit. Amazing child acting. I feel like we sleep on that child acting.
Oh,
like, they're great. Like these two are fucking amazing, fantastic. And you mentioned it before, but like no, like one of my favorite moments is just Siri Call the Police playing "Fuck the Police" and just blaring it. It's a great moment, fantastic fucking needle drop. This is a movie I don't think I have like a lot to say about it. Weirdly enough, I think it's like it's like there's so much going on here, but I I don't think there's enough for me to like really like gel onto. The finale's good.
Yeah.
That's about all I could say.
I think I forgot to bring up the twist really caught me off guard. I think when they not the ending one, but the one where they revealed there are multiple twins. It's not just the family. It's like the whole world has like a clone or whatever it is, right? Like they have a double, and I was definitely like, oh shoot, okay, so this is where the movie's going now, and it definitely caught me off guard a little bit. But I think it really ended up working. So. Cameron Patterson is in the comments saying us is his.
Oh,
He says Color Out of Space is a less cool Mandy.
you know, I actually like Color Out of Space more than Mandy. So sorry.
Cameron likes your.
Oh yeah, of course, gotta rep the.
Okay,
IMAX
but Cameron,
Jaws.
what do you think of what do you think of
Annihilation is better
Survivor?
than.
You a US Survivor fan? You want to back that up? Join the cult.
Yeah, I would agree with Cameron. I think I would go with us as my pick.
I go Color Out of Space. But
Hey Matthew, how many matchups are left?
Yeah, that's.
I think it's only fair that because you picked against me for 2 movies now.
I'm okay with us moving on. Like I'm not as
Okay.
like passionate
It's,
about
4 more
so
matchups.
if you like
or,
us
or I can hold Matthew hostage and give you another free vote for
yeah.
Here, I'll vote us. I'll have less conflict.
Yeah.
Okay.
No Survivor.
Boo. Cameron, go on Netflix right now and turn on I think David vs. Goliath is
David
one of the
vs.
seasons.
Goliath is on.
Yeah.
Netflix, yeah.
David vs. Goliath is on American Netflix for the next 2 days. Start it right now. I don't care if you don't finish. Get addicted. Get that shit in your veins. You know you're gonna like it. We all do. Talk to Matthew and Sarah about it. They'll get you addicted.
All right. Yeah. We'll maybe do a real ranked Survivor if.
Top 32 seasons. Let's go. Fuck Robert Stone. We can top him.
We'll go to our next matchup now. A Quiet Place versus It Comes at Night. Steven, we'll go to you first.
Yeah. So A Quiet Place. I think I fell asleep in the theater for a little bit. And I might have just been tired. I think I like the second one a little more maybe, but I'm not huge on either of them. I think A Quiet Place is like, oh, it's a cool idea, and then the execution I don't really think is amazing or anything. And it's not. I don't think it's as original as like it's advertised as, because it is just like alien monster invasion movie, and like I don't know, man. I'd rather just watch Signs again personally, and then but it's got its moments, I guess. Like, but it's been a while. I haven't seen it since theaters, so maybe I'd be more like, oh, it's actually good, but doesn't really matter too much because I really love It Comes at Night. Actually, it's funny that these two are matched up because they're both kind of similar to M. Night Shyamalan or why did I say it wrong? Whatever. Anyway, It Comes at Night is like just super tense all the way through. I really like it. I think actors are all great. It's very like, you know, you keep asking questions like as it goes on, like you as an audience member, you keep asking questions and it's engaging the whole time. And I was thinking, I was like, you know, I'm kind of surprised that this one was like hated on so much by a lot of like general audiences. And then I like the ending happened and I was like, oh, okay, I see now. But I think the marketing wasn't great because it made it seem more like a conventional monster outside horror movie, and it's really not. It's about the monster inside of us. But I just think it's a lot of fun. Fun might not be the right word. I enjoy watching this movie. It is super bleak though, and I can understand why someone would be like, It's kind of a depressing movie. I don't really like watching it. But I don't feel depressed after watching it. Like I feel more like energized, if anything, because it's just like engaging movie, thoughtful movie. Yeah, good movie. It Comes at Night.
I agree. It is a good movie. And the two dudes who in front of me who were like, "Yo, this shit sucked." Fuck you. You don't like good movies. You probably went and watched Baywatch instead, bitch. I like it. It's good. It's in my top, like, I think it's my top 28, 24. Like, I really enjoy it. It's a movie I don't think holds up as well on a rewatch. I think the pacing sort of drags a bit where I think you really engage in the first watch. And then, like, as stuff keeps like, oh. And then I think on rewatch, it loses a bit of that engagement. Like, I think a lot of the plot beats still work really well, but I think waiting for them to come doesn't, like, work quite as well the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
A Quiet Place is fantastic. I think that it's a really interesting movie that we haven't seen anything like it from, like, the mainstream. But I also don't know if it holds up outside of the theater, because I've seen that and the sequel each in a theater, and I don't know if, like, at home that, like, dead silence is going to be good when I have access to technology and so many distractions. Whereas It Comes Tonight, I rewatched it at home, and I still think that it engaged me, even though it was a bit slower paced. But John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, if you want a third, I am here. I can be funny, and that's basically all that I can contribute.
So Albert's more of a Baywatch guy. Looks like it.
Oh, yeah, Albert, you want to watch The Rock naked? Look at me.
Watch Pain and Gain instead.
Watch Rampage.
Yeah.
Watch DC League of Superpets.
All right. I'll start talking about It Comes at Night because I think I really like it. It's there's a lot of things that aren't explained, and I think that just really keeps me intrigued.
I'm waving to the cat. Hello.
Okay. Like, wait.
This is Cosmo.
Hello, Cosmo.
But yeah, I really like the uneasy feeling that you kind of feel throughout the movie. This just like Trey Edward Schultz does a really amazing job of building atmosphere, and just like this slow build to everything really worked. I think just some really great ensemble as well, and there's a lot to think about, a lot of metaphorical themes that are definitely up for interpretation. So and A Quiet Place, I feel like I wish I saw this in theaters. I never got a chance. I didn't watch this in theaters. I wasn't really big in horror at the time. And so I think that also is the reason why I enjoyed the second one more. I watched the second one in theaters, and it was an incredible theater experience. But for this, I watched it at home with a group of friends. We were all just kind of talking to each other during the movie, and like didn't. So it, not the same experience. I think that really brought it down a little bit. I feel like it just isn't as scary if you're just at home talking to friends during the movie. And so yeah, I guess Steven?
I'm definitely going It Comes at Night. So
Cameron's pick is A Quiet Place.
Whoa, see, man, I'm glad Cameron isn't on here. He's saying some stuff that I'm not agreeing with.
You know what? I'm happy that Albert isn't on here because I'm going to vote for It Comes at Night. It's the chaos pick. I sort of have to.
Yeah.
Like, this one is just such a toss-up for me because I feel like if I had seen A Quiet Place in theaters, I think I would give the bump to A Quiet Place because of the experience I had with the part 2. But I go with It Comes at Night for how I watch it. So, all right, It Comes at Night moves on. The anti-penultimate matchup in round 1 is Dr. Sleep versus Split.
Oh, no.
I don't. Okay, this is the hardest one
Fuck.
so far. I think this is the hardest one, or I think this has to be.
Yo, what if we just like move them both on, make it a triple threat?
Yeah, what if we like moved one of them to like a spot where we're lukewarm on another one or something? No, I don't
My
know.
problem is my number one has not been said yet, so it might be playing in round 2, and I don't want to deal with that. These
all
are
right,
both.
yeah, that's tough. The cat to chime in. Cat says It Comes at Night was better. That's all.
So Spence,
I think, yeah.
Spence, you're first.
Oh,
you're first.
I'll say Dr. Sleep for a second. I think it's complex. This one's fucking great. It's so good. I think I've been wanting to rewatch because right now it's like a 4 on my letterbox. It's probably higher. Honestly, could even be a 5. I think I undersold it a little bit because I saw it on a date. I was a little distracted, but like James McAvoy's performance, I would consider one of the 5 best actor performances of the decade. Like, I think the way that he handles all of those characters in such a unique and distinct way, to the point like there's literally a scene in the movie where he is one of those characters playing another character, and you were able to discern the difference. Like, that's so fucking good acting. And then when he knows he's caught, he slips back into like the full performance rather than like the half and half. And like, that is so hard. That is so fucking difficult. I want to suck that man's dick with how talented he is. That's amazing. Like, that's so good. I don't know how you do that. And then Anya Taylor-Joy is in it. And I forgot her name. How's the
Haley
dragon?
Lou Richardson.
No. Her too. This cast is so good. It's amazing.
And you get the Happening lady, creepy lady from The Happening.
Like, this is just, I think this is one of the movies that I think works really well with like a group, because it's, or no, let me rephrase. I think it's one of those movies that works deceptively well in a group, because I think people like us, when we're hanging out with our friends and we're like, I want to show you movies that maybe you haven't heard of or that you hadn't seen. This isn't that territory of like, you might have heard of it, you might not have seen it. And it's a horror film, but it's more than that. And it has more to say. And I think it offers more than just, jump scare. Like, there's a lot going on. There's so much interesting shit. And then you have and then it's fucking glass. And it's unbreakable. And like, it's so fun. But Dr. Sleep is like what it wanted to do, but better. Like, it's more than just like, oh yeah. It's not just because Stephen King. I think that blockbuster horror is so hard to create. Even though that horror is like the big genre in like popular filmmaking right now. And this does it. Like, I feel like every single dollar put into it in the best way possible, where it just feels so incredible. Like, I remember when I was watching it the first time, it was like midnight in March of like COVID. And I see Rebecca Ferguson, I see Rose the Hat flying over Earth. And I'm like, I feel cinema changing. Because this kind of horror does not exist. And now that it does, I am upset that there's not more of it. And Ewan McGregor is perfect. And that third act is perfect. Like, these are both just such like masterful movies. If this was the finals, I'd be happy. Like, I'd be a little bit unhappy, but I'd be happy. Like, these are just a first round. Fuck you, Matthew.
Hey, it's not my fault. Blame Letterboxd popularity.
No, fuck you, Kenny. You did this. I bet you did this.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what Kenny would vote for. But Kenny isn't here, so yeah, fuck Kenny right now, I guess.
Yes, they're on our side.
No, I can't be a Kenny hater, unfortunately. He's my fellow Michael Mann boy. He's my protege, so you know.
True. All right. Yeah, this one's really tough. It's rare to see a sequel to like such an iconic movie, like and have it be that good, and like you could argue that it's better than the original. You know, I think just I really love the expansion of this universe and just like the Shining and like learning more about it, and I think just some really great creepy intense scenes. I I haven't seen this since theaters, but the scene that sticks out is with Jacob Tremblay, and that is probably like one of the most disturbing scenes in like a long time. It's just I think it's incredible filmmaking. I love Mike Flanagan. I need to get into more of his work because I've only seen Doctor Sleep and I've seen The Haunting of Hill House, and I need to watch more. He I think he just does an incredible job with Doctor Sleep. And then with Split, which I haven't seen since 2018 or 19 as well, but I think it is also incredible how James McAvoy just plays this character, and I think it's just very very thrilling as well. You're like on the edge of your seat for sure, and um, and yeah, I just find it being a very intense experience. I've been meaning to check it out again, but um, yeah.
All right, well, okay, Doctor Sleep. I saw in theaters and I was like, wow, that was really good. And I think at the time I liked it more than The Shining, but I've since rewatched The Shining and I'm like, now I'm much more of a Kubrick fanboy. So I'm like, okay, like The Shining. I think I still prefer The Shining just because it's like it's such that like one of those classics. But with that being said, Doctor Sleep is a very good movie on its own, and I think if you take it as like a you don't try to compare it to The Shining, it works pretty well, and it does. It's a lot of it's very different, and then the ending they kind of try to do the homage stuff, and it's it might be a little messy in that aspect because that might be like the least interesting part, and they did have to Rose the Hat, yeah. Yes. Oh, it's Rose the Hat right there. Yeah. But Mike Flanagan, I like the way he writes. It's not for everybody, but I like how he writes. I love Midnight Mass. And he's very good here. Yes, Midnight Mass fans. I guess I shouldn't say too much more because I haven't seen it since theaters. So, but yeah, also the like when they're on the stairs, it's like when Rose the Hat gets her comeuppance. That's also a pretty spooky scene right there. It actually, I watched Near Dark recently for the first time, and I hadn't thought of this until now. We were just as we were talking about it, like that the vampire whatever the heck. They're kind of like vampires in Doctor Sleep, and the way they're portrayed seems like a little similar to Near Dark. So just an interesting comparison there. And then, so I guess I really like Near Dark. So there, Doctor Sleep gets boost because it's similar to Near Dark. But Split also really good. Funny that these two are together because they're both like sequels, unexpected sequels to like movies that were released like decently long time ago. And Unbreakable is maybe not like, it's obviously not on the level of The Shining in terms of that classic status, but I think like Unbreakable is like one of my favorite films ever. So Split, I think I didn't love it the first time I watched it. Rewatched it, I was like, okay, this is actually like really really good stuff. Yeah, I mean, you guys said a lot already, so and I took way too long to talk about Doctor Sleep, so I'll just say James McAvoy is great, and it's got that little musical cue when you hear the Unbreakable music starts playing. You're like, let's go, baby, let's go, it's coming. I wish I like had been able to have seen it in theaters and not known that it was like connected, because I didn't see it in theaters and like I already knew it was the Unbreakable sequel. But it would have been so cool if like Split came out now when I'm like a huge Unbreakable fan. I'm just like, oh, I want to see the new M. Night movie, and then you get that at the end. Oh, it would have killed. I would have died. So yeah, good stuff.
I watched Split before I watched Unbreakable, so
Same.
like it was after Split that I was like, oh, I should probably watch Unbreakable then. And so
Yeah, I think I saw Unbreakable first, but I think I watched it like after Split had come out. So if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
You got your vote.
I am gonna vote for Doctor Sleep
Okay.
because The Shining is mid as fuck and not a good horror movie.
Oh,
And I think
all right.
taking a
all right,
classic
that's-
and improving on it deserves some praise. I think both are better than the original, but I think Doctor Sleep is significantly better than The Shining.
man, they're better than the original. Oh
I think
man.
The Shining is actively not scary and sort of
Disagree
funny
with
in a
both.
bad way.
But no, that's okay. I think The Shining isn't very scary either. I just think it's good. No, but
Yeah, I don't like.
and
not
it's funny.
scary.
And it's funny. It is funny.
I think just Kubrick's craft, like I mean, behind the scenes stuff aside, I think
Yeah,
it's really, really well done.
but
This is a hard one,
Matthew, are you? I guess I'm not 100% sure. Okay, I'll wait for Matthew.
I'm gonna vote Doctor Sleep.
Okay, well then that makes it easy. I don't have to make
Yeah.
the deciding vote. I think I'm leaning toward Doctor Sleep still,
Okay.
actually. So
Mm.
yeah, I think I'd vote Doctor Sleep. I do like Split a lot, but because I think Doctor Sleep is nice. Yeah.
No, that was a tough one, but yeah. Okay, so Doctor Sleep moves on, and our penultimate matchup is What We Do in the Shadows versus Suspiria.
We're ending on bangers.
Well, I haven't seen either movie.
Okay. Let's between the two of us, and then if there's a tie, we can go to the chat. But
Yeah,
I know my
we'll go to
preference. I
the
hate that
chat.
one of these is losing.
okay, I start with this, right?
I've seen the original Suspiria, so that can be my way of voting. if
I
need be.
think that this is better than the original.
I'm not huge
agree.
on the original Suspiria.
I agree.
So
Neither am I. I don't like
I think
it.
yeah,
It's
it's
I enjoy What We Do in the Shadows. I don't quite love it. I think there is a specific style of humor that if you enjoy it, I think you'll have an even better time than me. But I still think it is very fun. Like I think just Taika Waititi's comedic style, I think really adds a lot. And I think the mockumentary aspect, of course, is like makes it really funny. And it's been a while since I've seen What We Do in the Shadows. I wanted to rewatch it, just didn't get a chance because I think I saw this my senior year of high school with a group of friends, and I had a really good time, but it's been too long now. But for Suspiria, yeah, I think it's an improvement on the original. I really like that it adds a lot of what I enjoyed about the original, but like also just improves on it, creating some more interesting characters. And I feel like it does feel different while feeling the same. Like it has really great style and atmosphere. I think it's very disturbing. Tilda Swinton and Dakota Johnson are both incredible. I think Tilda Swinton, how many characters does she play in Suspiria?
3.
3? Yeah, I think she does it like all super well. And then of course, like Mia Goth, she's definitely like someone who stood out from me. Like before, like Mia Goth had like 2022. I think she was incredible in Suspiria. I thought like she was definitely someone to look out for as we've seen now. And I really do. I think what it misses from the original is like the visual style, like the colors. It does feel like it's missing a little bit of it, but I still think the movie looks stunning. Like the cinematography is gorgeous. It's just like it's missing a little bit of like that visual aspect. But I think I really like it. I liked it more. So
This is so tight. It sucks. Suspiria, we've already talked about it. Vastly better than the original. I think that the way that the kills are imagined are incredible. One of my favorite kills in any movie ever is in this. Matthew, do you know which one? Yeah, the dance scene. It's fuck. Oh, that shit hurts. It makes my spine tingle.
The sound.
The
The sound.
Oh, I don't like it. I love it, but I hate it. Oh. And I think that its finale is like, I think the finale does what Suspiria intended to do and does it better. On top of like, I remember when it came out, one of the reviews I followed like was really just going into like how the politics at the time and how that's like subtly like a really interesting and engaging and deep background narrative for the film that doesn't really need it, and it just like adds depth to the whole narrative. And I dug into it, and I think that's so interesting to just have like you put in your background like the catalyst of your plot, and you're not really addressing it. But the more and more you know about it, the more and more the movie just works overall. And it's just, that's amazing. Dakota Johnson, fucking incredible. Tilda Swinton, marry me, please. I will fly to you. Incredibly talented. Like, there's nothing wrong here. But then what we do in the shadows is like one of the best comedies ever. Like, I don't know what, like, this. Fuck you, Matthew. I hate this. No, fuck. God damn it, Kenny. I blame Kenny for this. This is just so funny, and all the characters are great and fully realized. And I love this opening scene. It's like, hey, this is Peter. Peter, hi. Back to bed. Like, it's just, I think it does so many levels of comedy and so many different types of jokes. Like, it goes from like, do you like your biscotti? How about now? Oh, it's worms. And to the oh shit, there was another joke that I was thinking of that I totally forgot. And then you get the werewolves. Like, the werewolves are just so much fucking. Oh yeah, like one of my favorite jokes is like, I prefer virgin blood. It's like a sandwich. You'd prefer it if no one fucked it. Like, like there's a lot of great jokes there, and it's just filled with them. Like, it's just nonstop fucking funny, and also has like a really good like narrative at its heart with all the characters for both like the ex-girlfriend and Taika like trying to link up with his like forever love. There's so much there to like cling to. I hate this. I hate having to vote this. Steven, you want to vote first?
Going to vote.
No, well, my vote is, I don't know.
Suspiria is my vote. But you haven't seen both of them, so it's a little hard for you.
Yeah.
So what'd you vote, Matthew?
I vote Suspiria.
I'll vote What We Do in the Shadows.
All right, let's see what the chat says.
In the chat.
Chat.
Hello, chat. Is anyone still watching right now?
Cameron. Or Albert.
If no one's watching right now, though, we might be screwed. Otherwise, I might just say What We Do in the Shadows then, just because, like, I'm not as big on the original Suspiria, so like
I
in a
hate
weird way.
the original. I think the new one's amazing. Like,
I am not big on the original Suspiria. The original Suspiria is a 2.5 stars.
Do you like Call Me by Your Name?
Yeah, I think it's good.
I think that this is better.
Okay, and I didn't love Call Me by Your Name. I liked it, and I need to watch it again. So if
I've also seen like a bigger splash. I think this is Luca's best film. Like, I think it's heads and tails like way better. So it's like these are two giants going out in round one.
Yeah.
I just see the chat. Not a fan of it.
Not a fan of the chat right now.
Mm-mm.
So, new Suspiria, good. The new is interesting, not Giallo. Yeah, I'm kind of warming up to Giallo stuff though now. And when I did watch the original Suspiria, I wasn't as into that stuff. So another rewatch or another watch would be.
Here, let me call Cameron Holtzman. I think he'll help us decide this to not be
A Cure for Wellness was Mia Goth.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Mia Goth was in Suspiria. Shoot, I do love Mia Goth.
Oh, she is the best part of the new Suspiria for a specific reason.
Yeah. You know, I guess, you know what we can do? We could easily, like, just go on to the next one. And then, like, yeah. Well, you know what we could do is just, like, go on to the next one. And then the next round, we can like, decide, then you can like pick
Yeah.
the
Can,
next
can you do
movie
polls on
versus these
Discord?
two.
What if we just dropped a poll in there now and they vote on it?
There's no polls on it. I don't.
Oh, what the fuck? That's why y'all should use Facebook. Facebook's easier.
Well, no, because a lot of us don't have Facebook because we're like college kids, or if we do have Facebook, like we don't really use it as much.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook way too much. Like,
Just like send
I am a mom.
send a message. Be like, oh, which one is better, and then have one say what we do in the shadows, one say Suspiria, and then have them like emote on one of them, and then we can see. Yeah, well, we can get back to this. And see
we can get back to
Yeah.
that. So if you want to do that real quick, maybe.
Mhm.
Here, I'm fine. I'm fine conceding the ground. I'll give it to Suspiria.
Okay.
Even though what we do in the shadows is my top 100, and I'd love for it to move on.
That's fair. All right. Next one.
Well, then, the final matchup for round one: Better Watch Out versus Get Out.
Well,
you
that's
put my
funny.
movie
Out. Double
It's
out.
the outs. Which one's getting out? We'll find out. Steven, I
Hey,
guess.
I guess that was okay. I haven't seen Better Watch Out, but Get Out is a very good movie. I think everybody knows that. It's tight screenplay, efficient, which is interesting because Jordan Peele's other two movies are not like that. I mean, they're not bad screenplays. It's just this one is a little different like that. But this one's really good. Get Out's really good. There's a reason why it's one of the most popular, culturally significant movies of the last 10 years. It was a fun time. And that bit at the end, the motherfucking TSA bit, it's great stuff. I'll just say that because I haven't seen Better Watch Out. So
All right.
I think Get Out's perfect. Like one of those few like perfect movies. I don't know how you improve on it. Sorry, 1 second. All right, Get Out. I don't think you can make movies better than it. I don't know if there's any inherent flaws in it. Laura Howery, even then, is like he's not a great actor. I don't think there's a lot you can do from him. Perfect, straight up like no flaws in his performance. Bring him back. Do fucking 5,000 sequels. I don't care. Give him a spinoff show. This is maybe the greatest film of the 2010s. Like if this doesn't win this bracket, there is a problem. I think this is, if not the best, at least top 3. Like this is incredible. I love Better Watch Out. This is my like personal film I added to the list because I think it's a lot of fun. It's like Home Alone meets J. Evan Hansen. I think that's an amazing sell. If you don't want to watch it, then that's on you. This movie is fucking insane and rad with some really interesting kills for how like low key and cheap it is. But it fucking rules. Jackie Montgomery is in it for like 2 scenes.
Paint Bucket is great.
Oh, the paint bucket! Holy fuck, that shit hurted. But we're lying to ourselves if we're not saying that Get Out's moving on because it's the defining horror film of the 21st century.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's not a whole lot to say about Get Out because like it's perfect, right? Like it's such a tight script, and like Jordan Peele does an incredible job. Like Cameron also in the comments, Jordan Peele's best movie still, maybe.
I think I might prefer Nope actually, but
interesting.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's also said maybe the best debut feature ever.
No, absolutely not. And I think you guys know why if you know me.
It's a very strong debut though. Yeah.
It might be Thief, but yeah.
It's Citizen Kane, Scooby Doo, Get Out.
Yeah. There you go.
No different kids, whatever.
But yeah, I mean, like Get Out, it's been talked to death. I'm not going to go too deep into it. So, but with Better Watch Out, I think it sucks that it's it's going to lose to Get Out, but it is a fun time. I'm glad I watched it because like there's a lot of really this is very creative. I really love the Home Alone stuff, and just going blind because there's a lot of twists and turns, and I think just what Spence said was hopefully that sells you on it, and
Yeah. Alrighty, cool. We finished the first round.
First round is done. So
now we can be quick and efficient, like
Yes.
the Get Out script.
Oh, all right, round 2. First one is Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 versus It Follows.
All right, I go with It Follows because
I
haven't
think
seen
Dude Bro
Party
Massacre.
Massacre 3 is hasn't seen it.
I mean,
Dude Bro
having
Party
seen
Massacre
both,
3 should win this whole tournament, other than Get Out. There's those two in the finals, and that's it.
I go with It Follows as well.
Boo! Boo!
You know what? I'll say at least made it to the second round. That's probably better
Even
than you were
Omar,
expecting.
okay? You happy? Omar.
No, Matthew. I want you to keep being upset about what it beats. That's the
Okay.
goal.
All right. Well, let's go to the next one. Mandy versus It.
I'm going Mandy.
Matthew.
I'm going Mandy.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know.
Yeah. No, I had to think about it for a little bit, but yeah, it's tough. All right. Hereditary versus Annihilation.
Annihilation. Just wrap it. Put a bow on it.
Hereditary.
Okay. Oh no!
Come on,
You
Steven.
guys can't do that to me.
Do it for the
Shoot,
scare bear.
The problem is, like, I haven't. So, I will say when I watched Hereditary, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Annihilation, I gave it an 8 out of 10. But honestly, I think Annihilation over time has moved above Hereditary. So I think I'm going Annihilation here.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! We stay winning!
Yeah.
Raw versus Bone Tomahawk.
I haven't seen Bone Tomahawk, so.
Well, yeah, here goes Bone Tomahawk. All right, well, that's fine. I haven't seen Raw, so I guess it's only fair.
Shout out to my
But
boy Craig Zoller, but like
Everyone should watch Bone Tomahawk. It's awesome.
I agree. I endorse this. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Y'all should also watch Brawl and Subblock 99. That shit rocks.
Oh,
Vince
yeah.
Vaughn, amazing.
Yeah, Brawl and
totally
Subblock
up for
99 is also one of my favorite movies of the last decade. So,
All right. So Raw moves on. Also, just gonna bring up Cameron's comment about this is Hereditary and then versus Annihilation.
Hold this, Cam.
and hopefully, whenever I go back, I will probably watch Hereditary at least one more time in my life, and I'll probably watch Annihilation one more time in my life. Hopefully, I'm not like, oh, I picked the wrong movie, but I don't think I did. So I think we're good.
All right. Move on to next one. Revenge versus Ready or Not. Ooh.
Oh,
Oh man. Okay. I'm thinking on it for a little bit. Because I'm also updating the banners. So
Haven't seen Ready or Not, but I'd probably go. Even if I had seen it, I feel like Revenge would probably still be my preferred movie.
I have to Ready or Not, but I hate this.
the sweet. The tiebreaker. Oh man. Okay. I'm going Revenge.
Wow, that's
Shit.
okay. I did not expect that one.
I did.
And these were your 2 picks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 of your picks, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. 2 of your 3 picks had to go. That's rough. That's really rough. All right, what's next here?
Fucking
The Babadook Duke versus Us.
The Babadook Duke. I'd go Babadook. Yeah.
Duke.
Yeah.
Babadook moves on.
Swiftly killed.
It Comes at Night versus Dr. Sleep.
Well, I think It Comes at Night's probably going to lose, but I vote It Comes at Night.
I vote for the movie that's better than the original.
And then Matthew.
Yeah, I'm voting Dr. Sleep.
Okay, I thought that one was going to win. Not disappointed, though. Dr. Sleep is a great movie. So.
Dr. Sleep is the best movie of the 2010s to feature the Overlook Hotel. Can you agree on that?
Also, like we're speeding
Was there
through these. I
another
want to bring up
2010s movie
Ready
that
Player
featured?
One.
Oh yeah, that movie was terrible.
Fuck yeah.
also
So bad.
so since we're speeding through these, I just wanted to bring up Cameron's picks as well.
Yes. Yeah,
Teton is great. It's
I need to watch.
2020s.
I know.
I'll add it to my list.
Both Cameron and Albert would go with Ready or Not. Cameron,
Bring them on the show. Let's redo this whole list. Let's do another 2 hours.
Cameron wants to choose us. Cameron with Babadook.
Is up its own ass. The Doctor.
Okay. So the last one in round 2 is Suspiria versus Get Out.
Oh wow. Well, I'll go Get Out. Even though I bet I would like Suspiria more. That's just me guessing, but I don't know. Get Out's really good though. But yeah, I'll vote Get Out because I haven't seen Suspiria.
Watch Suspiria, but yeah, Get Out.
Get Out is easy job.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need some time.
Round 3 now?
Yeah, round 3, but I need time to update the
Yeah,
banners.
you're good. You're good.
All for me.
That's fine.
You guys can talk about.
So I gotta say, this hasn't been quite as painful as I expected, though. Like for the most part, there are only like most of them I've been struggling over. There's only been a couple where I was like, the Split versus Dr. Sleep one was kind of hard, but and then what else? I can't remember. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight in the chat? You guys looking cute in there, I bet.
All right.
So,
all right.
we're
there.
ready. We're ready.
All right. Round 3. First matchup in round 3. It Follows versus Mandy.
I was just talking about how it hasn't been tough, and now it's a little hard for me. But
I go Mandy as well, actually.
Okay.
Oh,
easy enough.
Go.
Fair enough. I didn't have to make that choice. I mean, Mandy, I'd probably. It's like my love for John Carpenter, my love for Nick Cage. I mean, It Follows isn't John Carpenter, but very much inspired stylistically. Yeah. And synth, good old synth.
Albert, this bracket is whack.
No, this bracket is good, and there's a reason why you aren't on here, Albert. Yeah, you're not on our level.
I think this is the.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So Cameron would go Mandy.
Okay. Come on, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, cage fighter here. Gotta go.
Mm-hmm. All right, so. Mandy moves on as we go to our next one: Annihilation versus Raw.
Annihilation.
Damn, this is where Raw goes, right? Because I go Raw.
Yeah, Annihilation. So,
ooh, am I winning this tournament? Is this how it's?
You're doing all right so far.
Other than all of my picks fighting each other.
Yeah.
Well, the next pick we have is Revenge versus the Babadook.
That's tough. That's
I have
really
to go to the
tough.
Babadook, but I fucking hate you, Matthew. I hate that I have to do this.
I would.
I go Revenge.
Oh no, I'm. Crap. Okay, actually, the Babadook, like, Revenge isn't really horror to me, so I think I'm just gonna say the Babadook because of that. Yeah. I mean, it has horror elements, sure. But...
I swear I like Revenge. I know I voted against it every time, but I do really like it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Revenge is great. It's in the third round, so
yeah.
We're good. We're good.
Out of spite for what?
This is when it gets hard anyway. Out of spite. I don't know what he means by that.
because he said
Wait or not, should have moved on. Yeah,
because of
no,
this-
I fucking agree.
Because all right. Final matchup for this round is Doctor Sleep versus Get Out.
Wrap it up. Get Out. Just take it to the finals.
Okay, so semifinals now.
Wait, or Matthew, are you voting?
Oh yeah, Get Out. Get Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
This one was kind of I would have a hard time, but yeah, honestly, I might go Doctor Sleep here, even though it doesn't matter. But
Get Out of one of 2 5-star movies that are left in this
Okay.
list.
All right. Well,
And it's fighting the other one in round 4. I fucking hate how this is working.
Mandy versus Annihilation.
Annihilation.
This is where my vote goes to Annihilation.
Oh, I was gonna be like, oh my god, Annihilation wins. Yeah. Sorry, Nick.
And the next matchup we have the Babadook versus Get Out.
Well, I guess Get Out's moving on, but
Hey, Babadook. Get
but
out.
I do like the Babadook. I don't. Man, that's tough. That I don't.
They're
know
both
if I
5
could vote.
stars. Like, there's nothing wrong with either of them. Just one of them is the best movie of the decade.
Cameron would go Doctor Sleep as well over Get Out.
Yeah, Cameron, the Rebecca Ferguson, Mike Flanagan fanboy. So of course,
Rebecca Ferguson. Like, nothing wrong. I
yeah.
support it.
Cameron would also choose Annihilation over Mandy. So
Okay.
unfortunate. That's where the cage ends for.
Goodbye, Cage.
So yeah, our final matchup.
Oh, we're on to the final one.
Mhm.
We get on
Under
2
2
hours.
hours.
Let's go.
Woo!
I can type fast enough. It's Annihilation versus Get Out.
Well, looks like Get Out wins.
We love our sci-fi horror.
I think, yeah, man. I would need to watch Annihilation. I really want to watch Annihilation again because I think I might prefer Annihilation to Get Out.
So vote Annihilation,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because you guys are voting Get Out.
Matthew.
So, but I vote Annihilation.
I vote Get Out.
just to be that guy. So Get Out is the best of the 2010s according to this crew.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jordan Peele, marry me. Your brain is brilliant. Wendell and Wild, more like.
Our Cameron, would go Annihilation.
Annihilation should win. Okay, Cameron. Yeah, that's cage fighter talk right there. That's the way I like it.
Is it because it beat Mandy that you had to no, it deserves it.
Yes.
Keep it to the final.
Well, honestly, I think I voted Annihilation though. So no.
Also, Cameron voted Annihilation over Mandy.
yeah, exactly. So
So our winner is Get Out. I'll bring up the whole bracket for anyone who is
wants
visual
to see.
But I'm not gonna announce everything. If you're
Okay.
watching this visually, I have the bracket up.
Man, oh yeah, the witch losing in the first round was tough.
I think Midsommar getting bounced really.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was awesome. That was the best. That was awesome. That Midsommar is probably one of in my opinion, it's one of the most overrated movies in this bracket. So there we go. Cool.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thank you to Cameron and Albert who chimed in the live chat, and thank you to Stephen and Adelaide for being my panelists for today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll Survivor real ranked in the future if there is interest. If there's interest, let me know, and I could probably set that one up. And then there will be real ranks in the future, but just with school, it's a little hard to plan. But yeah, I mean, if you have anything else, let me know. That's it from us. We'll see you guys out. sometime. I don't remember when the next
Yeah.
match is off the top of my head. But yeah, all right.
Bye.
20 seconds. Come on, we can do it. We can do it. Come on.
End it.